So if you watched my last video, you know that one of my player characters died recently. And at the end of that video, I told you that I was going to tell you about my home ruling for death and the fate of Corey. Well, that's this video right here. So first of all, this rule isn't going to be for old school or hardcore D&D folks. This is just how I run it at my table, and that's okay. It's not for everybody, but if you like it and you want to run it at your table, let me know. So the rule is basically this. When a character dies outright, they're fully dead, I give the player 3 choices. Choice number 1 is let fate decide. Some people want to gamble with their life, and so we're going to give them one last chance. We give them a coin, we flip it, heads, they stabilize, but they're unconscious, or tails, they are dead forever and always. Choice number 2 is to go out in a blaze of glory. This is for those players who are okay with their characters dying, but they want that one last hurrah, that one cinematic end to their character. And so you're going to give them one last action, and it's an automatic success or an automatic critical success if your game system allows for that. And essentially, it just gives them that final moment where they can hold the door open as their friends flee from the burning building just before it collapses on top of you, or they stand up and summon all of their strength that they have left, and they make that one last attack, and it's going to deal some serious damage to that BBEG. The third and final choice is to survive at a cost. And this is for those players who are just not ready to let their characters go yet. You know, maybe they just don't feel like their story is over. And that's okay. And so essentially they are going to survive there somehow. But the cost is up to you as the GM. And that cost should be heavy. Maybe one of their magic items is destroyed or stolen by the enemy, and it's going to be used against them at some point. Maybe they lose a limb and they have to deal with that. Or maybe on the other side, they have to make a deal with some dark entity in order to come back to life and finish their work here on Earth. Either way, it gives agency to the player, and it lets them decide how their story continues or doesn't. And so as for Corey, the character that died in our last session, he decided to survive at a cost. He never really got to face his mortal enemy. He was too busy fighting all of the minions, and it just wasn't a good fight for him, and he just didn't feel like it was time. And so he decided that Corey is going to survive at a cost.